So hello there, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be talking to you about my Football Manager save. With Football Manager 26 on the horizon, it's time to take you through my Football Manager 24 save, which I gotta be honest, was a huge save. I only did one save from October 2023 up until now, and it's my time to take you through it. Now, I know you're wondering what team. You're probably thinking, Leverkusen? Maybe? No. Although I will say, when I started this save, when Football Manager 24 came out, Leverkusen hadn't won the Bundesliga yet, which is kind of crazy to think about now. We're like 2 seasons after that almost. But yeah, it is not Leverkusen. It is AFC Bristol, aka the Gorillas. So who are AFC Bristol? They're a team I made. I made them before starting the game. I made their logo. I made their kits. I made everything about them. Obviously, I could have gone Bristol City. Could have gone Bristol Rovers. I just like the idea of starting with my own team, doing it fresh. So let me introduce you. This is the logo made by myself. At some point in the save, I did change logos, but this is the starting logo. This is the original. Now I tried to make it very Bristol themed. So obviously the logo's got gorilla, the nickname of the Gorillas. There's actually a famous gorilla called Alfred the Gorilla from Bristol, so that's why I went for that. Same with Aardman. Aardman is based in Bristol, so it was just a nice choice. And I like the logo of Aardman. It looks nice and clean. And yeah, these are the kits I've made. And yeah, it's just really good. I even went as far as to make profile pictures for each of the players, and even using the in-game editor, I added a couple people I know as my fellow coaches, which is I like to do. That's just a fun little thing. That being said, it was time to begin my manager career. So I started in the National League, and there's a couple of people I need to introduce you to. First being a free agent called Josh Martin. He was 23 when I signed him. He ended up getting 23 goals and 23 assists in his time at AFC Bristol. Averaging about 10 goals and assists every season. And yeah, he was wonderful for us. In my final season, 2034, he's now at AFC Bournemouth in the Premier League. So he's doing very well for himself. And yeah, in the early seasons, he was brilliant for us. Similarly, another free agent, Jake Vokins. He's 24 when I signed him. Left back, he ended up playing 166 games for us. 22 goals, 46 assists. And he's now 34 with Crystal Palace in the Championship. A big star for us was someone called Oscar Burke. There he is. He was 23 at the start of the game. He ended up having 140 appearances and getting 91 goals. He was a real star. He's 33 now, in the Premier League, playing for Sunderland. And yeah, he was probably the biggest legend that AFC Bristol ever had. In the early seasons, I actually went for an unorthodox approach. I went for a very right-sided formation where only my left-back, Vokins, was a left-sided player. I did double up with an attacking midfielder who would roam to the left, but typically, if you actually looked at the squad, it was everyone on the right with just my left-back. And it kind of worked. I played down the right, did crosses, and it worked perfectly. Our biggest win for a long time was 7-0. Burke actually got a club record of 40 goals in one season, which wasn't ever beat. And despite him doing that, Martin got player of the season and Vokins got signing of the summer. So promotion was inevitable. Next season, the key boys from the previous one was just as effective. We did have a youth player, Alfie Beck. He didn't do too much this season, but he was crucial for us in League One and the Championship, and later made a £20 million move to Fulham, making 193 appearances for them. Burke, to no surprise, got League 2 Player of the Season and broke the goal scoring record as well with 34 goals. Burke was just amazing. Around this time, we signed Christian Burgess, who is a real player. He's a centre-back, experienced. He was great for us. He was only there for 2 seasons. He actually went on to have a great managerial career, but while he was there for us, he was unplayable. Also, Harley Willis, he was the youngest goal scorer ever on his debut for AFC Bristol. And yeah, he also went on to Chelsea eventually, but both those players were huge for us. For a third consecutive season, we got promoted, which I wasn't too happy about. I didn't want it to look too easy. I kind of didn't want to get promoted. Thankfully, in our 4th season, we got to the playoffs, but we didn't get promoted. We actually got an embarrassing defeat. And yeah, it was a tough season that season, but we did well. Burgess then retired, which is a big shame because we really needed him. Well, he went on to have a great career in a manager role. He managed at Fulham and eventually Sunderland. And, fun fact, he actually managed Oliver Burke at Sunderland once Burke eventually left Bristol, AFC Bristol. So yeah, very fun fact for you there. Thankfully though, in the 27/28 season, We did the unthinkable and we got promoted to the Premier League, which was insane. Harley Willis actually won Championship Player of the Year there, which is a huge, huge fact, especially because he was a midfielder. And of course, I was rightfully given Manager of the Year as well. Obviously I was. With that being said, we now entered the Premier League and we needed some new players, Jake Watkins, Josh Martin. They were pushing the limits a little bit now. So there's a lot of people we signed. Obviously, a lot of them failed. A lot of them were a bit of a ringer or a filler player. But there's some people who need a shout out. Lucas Vitek, hands down the best player of the save. 26 years old in 2034. So he's still not even made his prime yet. He became AFC Bristol's highest ever goal scorer, overtaking Burke, which is a huge, huge accomplishment. And, something that's not taken lightly. And in those 7 years that he's been at AFC Bristol, he won 3 Premier League Golden Boots. So yeah, he is a star player. And if you look at the highlights that's going to be playing, he's going to be popping up a lot. Similarly, Edouard van den Dert was a Belgian left winger who I bought at the age of 19 from Burgess at Sunderland. Thank you very much. He went on to have 120 games, 23 goals, and averages about 10 assists per season. And he went on to score one of the best goals in a Champions League final, which you will see very shortly. In left back, a role player, Jesus Vasquez, signed from Valencia, and in his second season, he had 24 assists from left back, absolutely lethal. Almost Grimaldo-esque, might I say. He did drop off with injuries and went on to Inter not too long after that, but he's the best left back Bristol ever had. Danny Hayes is an attacking midfielder who we did sign. In his best ever season with us, he got 16 goals and 8 assists in 33 games. And then Tottenham went and bought him for 180 million. I don't know how that happened. They offered 100 million for him with 30 million add-ons. And I said, give us a little bit more. Give us 150 with 30 million add-ons. Not thinking they would do it. And they actually did it. So they paid 180 million for him. He was good. He wasn't that good. We scammed Tottenham there big time. Finally, we have Jarrell Hatto, who's actually just signed for Chelsea in real life. In this timeline, though, he signed in 2019 from Ajax, and he became our club captain very quickly. He appeared for a total of 140 times for the Gorillas, and is still there in 2034. So he's still going strong. He's he's basically Van Dijk for us, I'll be honest. Couple quick mentions: Foster and Cooper, 2 English wingers. Both of them had a huge part in our early success in the Premier League. And both separately moved to AC Milan, both for about 80 million. I think one was 88, one was 80. But yeah, both did very well there as well. After all the trophies here and there, though, in 2031, we did the unthinkable. We won the treble. Not only did we win the Premier League, ending Tottenham's 2-year streak of winning the Premier League, but we also won the Europa League and the EFL Cup in the same season. Huge season. You're seeing the highlights right now. Great year for us. However, we wanted to become a dynasty. So with the addition of Bennett, who was doing well, who, by the way, we signed from Man City in the Championship, I think, who's now doing well for us. Vitek, Van den Dert, they're all doing well. The likes of Foster, Cooper, Hayes, and Vasquez have moved on now. And the likes of Oscar Burke, Alfie Beck, and Jake Watkins, by this stage, they were long gone. So we got a couple of ringers in. Alberto Romero, he signed at the age of 21 in 2032. Portuguese winger, very good. I signed him for 85 million, and I only signed him because he actually advertised that he wanted to play specifically for me, so I had to go and get him. He's only played 53 games for FC Bristol, but in that time he's got 24 goals and 19 assists, and he's going to be huge for the future. Manuel Fuchs, he's a young attacking German midfielder, almost Wirtz-esque. He's only played 74 times for us. And he's only got 14 goals, but he's only 20 years old, so he's one for the future. But he's one I wanted to shout out. He's starting to progress very nicely. And finally, my last person I want to shout out is Eddie Clark. Now, I've got a soft spot for him. He's not done anything too amazing. He's a centre back / left back, English, but he's played over 100 games for us. Very reliable, and I would have felt bad not mentioning him. With the super team logged in, though, we went on to not only win back-to-back Premier Leagues, but in the same season we won the second Premier League, we actually won the Champions League, which I must say was a great accomplishment for me as a manager. This is where Van den Dert scored the best winner of a Champions League, I believe. that was not where we stopped though. In 2033, we won the Club World Cup. And in my final year, despite not winning the Premier League a third time, which would have been really nice, we did win the Champions League a second time by beating AC Milan in style. But with that, and after 657 games in charge, 410 games won, and 1,600 goals scored, it was time for me to give up my time at AFC Bristol. Is this because the new game's coming out? Yes, it is. But I will say, after 2 years of playing, I was getting a bit stale with this. I was enjoying my time in it, but I was playing it less and less, if that makes sense. When I was playing it, I was enjoying it, but I spent less time playing it. I would love to win the Premier League on my final season as a big standoff, but after 2 Premier Leagues, 2 Champions Leagues, and a lot of other trophies in there, a couple of FA Cups, I couldn't be proud of my team. I couldn't be proud of what they've done. I kind of feel sad that they're not going to continue. I'm almost tempted to simulate like 20 years in the future just to see how these guys done. But as of right now, I'm happy with how they did, and yeah, I couldn't be prouder. What's next, I hear you say? What is next? Well, I am going to be managing a new team. It's not going to be Leverkusen because they're kind of too good, but it will be FC Ingolstadt. I've ordered the t-shirt. Here it is. I haven't got it yet myself, but it's been delivered today. And yeah, that is going to be my next team. I'm very excited to see where they go. But as right now, up the Gorillas. AFC Bristol will live on. Thank you for watching. I've been James. See you next time. Bye.